never, 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 in nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honour and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
I am Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill. I was born on the 30th of November 1874 into a wealthy family. I was raised in Oxfordshire, England, and was one of two sons of the Dukes of Marlborough. From 1895 to 1900, I served as an officer in the army. My end goal was to follow my father into politics, and to do this I needed fame and fortune. As a soldier, I was shot at in Cuba, survived a cavalry charge in Sudan, and escaped from Boer captivity in South Africa. Enduring these dangerous places led to high publicity, which put me one step closer to my goal. In 1900, I experienced my first rise to Parliament as a Conservative for the town of Oldham. I soon joined the Liberal Party and helped introduce early unemployment insurance, but still held my strong point of view against support votes for women. In 1908, I proposed to and married Clementine Hosier, and in the years to follow had 5 children. I continued to rise in Parliament and became the Prime Minister of the Navy when the First World War broke out, but soon fell from office. Between the years of 1930 to 1940, my political career seemed dead to many, but I continued to voice my opinions and was made Prime Minister of Great Britain soon after the Second World War broke out in 1940. After the war, I was proud to be elected as Prime Minister again in 1951, before resigning 4 years later. I died on the 24th of January 1965 after an inspiring and memorable life. As the Prime Minister, I led Britain through the good and bad times of the war, and felt very strongly about never giving in to the enemy. I felt it was my role to guide the soldiers to victory with the moral of winning at all costs. Through the bombing of London and the invasion of Nazi Germany, I continued to portray a positive attitude towards the war effort by giving constant, inspiring speeches. I felt very proud of the soldiers in the way they shed their blood, sweat and tears to win battles and keep Britain at a high standard. The year I was elected Prime Minister in 1940, both my parents had previously passed away. I still had my brother John, however, who was over 5 years younger than me. Although there was a little jealousy on his behalf, as there always is with brothers, he was very proud and overjoyed for me. I had always wanted to follow in my father's footsteps, and my new position would have made him extremely proud. I always felt there was a certain expectation of me, being the older child, to succeed in life and give the family name a good reputation. If my mother was still alive, my actions would have had a massive effect on her life, as she would have been constantly worrying about me and what I was getting up to. It did affect my brother, but not to the same extent. My wife and children showed continual support throughout my time as Prime Minister and felt honoured to see my actions and decisions. I felt a large range of emotions during my time as Prime Minister. The biggest of these was the sense of fear and uncertainty with the decisions I was making on behalf of Britain. One mistake during the war, and it would have had a devastating and lasting effect on the country's pride and the way the country was viewed globally. I also felt a massive weight on my shoulders to be a good role model for the soldiers and to enforce the idea of never giving in. Through my actions and speeches, I knew I had to send a positive attitude to the soldiers and make them believe they could win the war. This was a massive task, and I felt excited to know that I had the opportunity to change the fate of the country. As my time in the spotlight continued, I began to feel very proud of the way the soldiers were fighting. At times I felt furious at Nazi Germany, but I knew that anger wouldn't lead to a win, so instead I turned that into determination to never giving up hope. Although there were a lot of challenging times during the war, I enjoyed my time as Prime Minister and wouldn't change any of it.
We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the land. any grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.